So today's video is going to be a new installment in the high maintenance energy series, which I have been doing on my channel for a little over a year. If you're new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a full-blown playlist down below. Tons of viewers subscribe to my channel for this type of content, and you keep asking me to do more videos about it, but to be honest, most of the videos I do are actually about being high maintenance. I just don't always call it that because it's not easy to fit it into a title or a thumbnail every single time. But today, I figured out some ways to do it. If you are new here and you're wondering why I am loudly and proudly declaring myself high maintenance again, check the playlist down below, but I'll give you a crash course in why we go by this. High maintenance is a term that is usually used in a negative context to describe women who take really good care of themselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, all of the things, all of the points, we're hitting them all of the time. We're basically focusing on being our best selves, regardless of if it bothers anybody or not. And clearly when someone calls you high maintenance, it means you are bothering people. Over here in this little section of the internet, we like to hang out and talk about things that we can do to constantly be improving ourselves. I'm all about positivity over here. Leave all that negativity at the front door. We do not have time for it anymore. Bars. All that being said, I'm just gonna get into this because this video is gonna be long and rambly, but before we get started, make sure you thumbs up the video if you are new here, subscribe thumbs up the video if you like it, subscribe if you are new here, you know you want to. If you're not new here, hey, what's up, how's your mom and them? Check the down bar for links on my social media platforms, and let's just get started. So the first rule, and I'm looking down at my notes if you catch me doing so, is that high maintenance women know what they want and they don't apologize for it, which seems like on the surface a super simple concept. I feel like women right now in particular in 2022 are doing this thing where they are saying they want one thing, putting out the image that they are one thing, but in reality they want and are something very different. Now, what do I mean when I say this? I think it is really easy to get on social media, almost too easy. It's just easy to talk, you know what I mean? And the thing is that a lot of certain talking points and behaviors and actions get a lot of attention. They get a lot of positive feedback from social media. And I think people get really caught up in this loop of trying to continue perpetuating a certain lifestyle or adopting certain ideologies. And then, like I said, being afraid to go against that or not play along with it. Again, especially when you have been able to get so much attention for doing so in the past and you see other people getting a lot of attention for doing it as well. I think the problem is, especially women who are on the younger side and this is all they know, they're really losing themselves in this algorithm and dopamine loop they find themselves on, trying to get attention, which I don't really have a problem with. I don't have a problem with anyone getting attention. Like, I think if you can get attention, great. I think you should not be afraid of getting attention. You shouldn't live your life trying to avoid it. I think that's how you lead a really small life, but I think you have to care how you're getting it. And I think you also have to care if the things you're doing to get this attention are not in line with who you are and what you really want. Because the title of this portion of the video is Know What You Want and Don't Apologize For It. And that includes when what you want and who you are is not necessarily what's popular on social media. And I could name a million examples of this if I wanted to, but I'm gonna focus on one that I see the most, that is the most confusing to me, and I feel like so many women are getting wrong, especially young single women who want to be in relationships. I've been in a relationship for 11 years, and prior to getting into this relationship, I've talked about this on my channel many times, I didn't date a lot, but I dated poorly. I was not good at it at all. And I wasn't even good in this relationship for a long time. It took me a long time to learn, and I will make a video all about that if you guys want to see like relationship rules I have had to live by. But I have heard for years, this is like the pervasive narrative on social media, and even with like the few single friends I have had over the years, everyone's talking about how it is so difficult to date now. That is like the number one complaint I hear, that something about now makes dating harder. It was hard when I was dating to find a good guy. It was hard when I was dating to get in a relationship with the guys I wanted to get with. Guys kind of are the same all the time, especially in a certain age bracket. So I think part of it is just the way things are, and I do think part of it is technology, but I think a lot of women are using technology all wrong if they want a relationship. And here's what I mean. Thing that I am seeing the most, okay? And I saw this in real life when I was single. I used to do this, and I have seen girls do this even now, like in person. I want you guys to stop looking to social media as the only way you gather data about stuff and start looking at you, your past, your friends' past, people you know in real life. Like, that's a really good way to figure out what's going on too. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is I keep seeing this thing where girls, younger girls, are posting stuff about men ain't ish, it's hot girl summer for me, I don't want no man, I don't need no man, silhouette challenges, starting OnlyFans, twerking on Instagram, all of this stuff. And I've talked about this before, and it's like, do what you want. I just think you need to consider the ramifications of what you're doing. I don't think anyone on planet Earth should think it's reasonable to do whatever you want and there be 0.000 consequences for it. And I think the consequence of you guys getting out here, because I think it's like the sisterhood, like we're all doing this together, and like screw guys and Heartbreakers Club and all that kind of stuff, which again is fine if you're walking it like you're talking it, but I don't think women are. I think the women who are on here, and I'm not saying it's all of them, I think there are some girls out here who seriously want to be in a relationship and they're trying to be very mindful of how they're presenting themselves outwardly. But it's really confusing to me. Like, I don't want to call anyone out, and I'm not going to, but if I was a different person, I would link all kinds of TikToks and stuff that I saw. If you guys want me to start reacting to TikToks and stuff like that, please let me know. But anyway, all these girls online who in one reel or TikTok are just like, F guys suck, I don't need no man, I'm a strong and single independent woman, boys are stupid, single for life, da 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 da. And then like right after that, they'll be posting sad girl memes and talking about how they just want as Khloe Kardashian would say, a love so deep the ocean would be jealous. Like, it's this weird, I don't want a boy, but I can't stop talking about them, everything I do is about them, and they also hurt my feelings. That's what I don't get. It feels like if you don't want a boyfriend, if you don't want a dude, you would spend no time talking about it. And social media is a commercial. It's the best stuff you got that you get to edit. So you're not gonna like convince me that you're just posting this stuff for no reason. You're posting it because it's getting you some sort of validation. And it's most likely getting you validation from your girlfriends, your equally single, unhappy girlfriends. Again, if you wanna be single, that's fine. But don't be out here saying you want to be single and F these dudes, but also stay up all night crying about them. It doesn't make any sense to me. And like the best example I can give to show you what this looks like would be like if I got on the internet and I was like, F radishes, I hate radishes, I never want to see another radish in my life. Radishes are dumb. I am so much better than radishes. I don't need a radish. I don't care what radish is like. You would be watching me and be like, dang mama, like what a radish do to you? You're not giving off the appearance you think you're giving off. You actually look very bothered by radishes. I just think you get a lot of cool girl points from other girls, which if you're not trying to date girls, I don't know why you want them to like support you and your disdain for radishes so much. But again, high maintenance women know what they want and they don't apologize for it. They don't care if their friends think that it's lame or they're pick-me's or whatever. I mean, you know if you're a pick-me or not. Liking guys and wanting a boyfriend and not being you don't even have to say it. Just don't get up there and say that you don't, but then on the low be like on Tinder all day swiping on radishes, picking radishes up at the club when they're drunk, crying over radishes, like losing your mind over radishes, but telling anyone who will listen that you don't actually want no dang radishes. Girls who are not worried about radishes are not worried about radishes. And I use this example because I want you to think about how many times you have posted about radishes on your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Tumblr. Wow, you can tell I don't really keep up with social media. My point is that you know you don't post about radishes unless you're a farmer or a super big vegan. You don't do it because you don't care about radishes. Radishes are not living rent-free in your brain. They're not burning the show. Keep in mind what you're doing and what you're saying and pay attention to whether or not it's aligning to who you really are and what you really want, and don't apologize for that. Again, if you want a relationship, if you want a boyfriend, you don't have to get on the internet and be like, I just want to settle down and be a one radish girl. Like, don't live in extremes. It's not one thing or the other. I just think that low maintenance women are going with the flow and saying what is cool and what other people like, and meanwhile they're hating every second of it, every single second of it. Like I said, You don't have to be out here declaring how much you love radishes, which we'll get into in a minute. There's a balance to all this. I'm just saying, figure out what you want and don't apologize for it. And don't be out here on Front Street acting like you are not completely torn up over something that you are torn up over, because everybody can tell that you are. Again, that is just an example. It's the easiest example I can think of. Give me enough time, I will come up with a myriad examples of women who are doing this all the time. And I don't get it. I don't know what the ROI is. I don't know what the point is. So the next rule is the one that this video was named after. And that rule is that looking good is not a sign of weakness. And this part of the video is sponsored by my good friends over at 7E Wellness, who make my favorite beauty device, beauty tech. Which one are we going with? Because I feel like beauty tech sounds more impressive, but I always just say beauty device. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that the Myolift Mini from 7E Wellness is the best. The best facial device, in my opinion, that I've ever tried, but absolutely the best option for microcurrent if you ask me. The Myolift Mini is a microcurrent device similar to some of the smaller, more, I don't know, commercially popular ones like the Foreo. I think it's the Bear, the Zip, and the New Face. I've actually owned 2 New Faces. I've gotten rid of both, and I only ever use the Myolift Mini now because the results you get from it are just beyond compare. In fact, while I'm talking right now, we're gonna have some footage of me demoing the Myolift Mini that I used today. I'm actually gonna show you guys one side of my face versus the other before and after I use it. They also make eye masks and mouth, I wanna say lip mask, but it doesn't technically go on your lip, it goes around the area of your mouth. I use those all the time too. Like, I typically do my microcurrent, my big microcurrent treatment twice a week now, and then I'll kind of supplement it with the eye and mouth mask. But anyway, all that being said, it's a microcurrent device and it is far superior to literally any other one out there. And in case you don't know anything about microcurrent, I don't know, you sleep under a rug, you live under a rock. I'm going to read you a couple of notes that I have found in a book I was recently reading called Glow from Within by Joanna Vargas. And she talks about microcurrent in it, and she said that the face is made up of 43 muscles. We use many of these, such as the muscle around the mouth, all of the time. However, there are others we rarely use, and those muscles begin to atrophy, wither, and sag. Microcurrent employs tiny waves that mimic the electrical output of our cells, and typically when you use the 2-pronged approach, which is exactly what the Myolift Mini has, that gives you the ability to send the gentle waves of electricity through your skin, where they stimulate your cells and give your unused muscles a little workout, basically acting as a personal trainer for your face. It also drains water from your face, giving your lymphatic system a much needed flush. You guys, if you wake up puffy, this will bust that out so quick, like you'll look so snatched, it's not even funny. As you age, the skin cells in your epidermis become less active, which is why they produce less collagen and elastin. And studies have shown that microcurrent therapy increases the production of collagen by up to 14%, elastin by 48%, and blood circulation by 38%. And that's not all. Adenosine triphosphate, I'm reading this straight from the book, you guys should get it, I'll link it down below, is the molecule that holds all your body's energy for muscular and cellular function, but your body doesn't store ATP by placing it on a reserve like it does with the fat in your fat cells. Rude, right? Like, our body is gonna hold on to fat, but you can't hold on ATP. Okay. Instead, your cells manufacture it as needed. A study from the early 1980s showed that microcurrents increase levels of ATP by 500%. With more energy at the ready, your cells can work more efficiently and respond to cellular damage more quickly. I just have always tried to explain, like, in a more scientific term, what a microcurrent does, and that's the best one I have found so far. But the main benefit of this and what I use it for is to keep everything up and right and tight. The amazing thing about the Myolift Mini is that not only does it have the action of being able to lift everything up, and it does immediately. I never film without doing Myolift first, because it looks like it takes like 10 years off your face. It's crazy. But you also can use this to smooth out wrinkles. Yes, that's right. If you have like fine lines and wrinkles that are driving you crazy, you can use the kind of 2-prong approach of the Myolift to smooth and stretch and lengthen them so they are less apparent. And this is a modality that you have to use consistently, but that's okay. So is like going to the gym, and that's why Jennifer Lopez looks the way she does, because she's been working out for 107 years. That's what you want to think of your microcurrent device as. It is something you need. I'm just like over here What is this? It is something you want to use consistently. I enjoy it. I just turn something on my iPad to watch, like a show or a movie, and I just sit here and get my microcurrent on a handful of times a week. And I can look back at videos even about this time last year before I started using microcurrent, and I can tell a huge difference in my face. I have no Botox or anything like that in my face right now. I just have lip filler, nothing else going on, and I swear it's because of this. So if you guys are interested in that, I will leave all the link. I will link all the information down below. There's a coupon code down there. So all that being said, we are also doing a giveaway. 7E has been so kind to allow me to give away 3 of the Myolift Mini devices. All the information is going to be down below, but you're mostly going to be able to enter it on Instagram. So definitely come hang out over there and definitely enter the giveaway if you've been interested in this, because I know I've been talking about it for a hot minute now. That's because I truly love it. I recommend it to literally everyone. In fact, not too long ago, I went to go get a facial at a really bougie spa in Nashville, and I almost got microcurrent until I realized they were just going to hit me with the new face, and I was like, forget it, girl. I have something way better at home. But highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. My best friend in the whole world, who I would never... She's not like as big as me on spending stupid money on beauty products, but she bought one of these like on the spot. She tried mine, pulled out the phone, bought it right away. It's so freaking good. So again, everything you need to know down below. And again, thank you to 7E for sponsoring today's video. So I named this video after this particular rule because I feel like it talks about and touches on a complicated facet of what it means to be a woman, and a high maintenance woman at that. And it could be something very well that you have struggled with for a long time. And while I do think it's really great and important that we have been having so many discussions about beauty culture and toxic beauty standards and all that good stuff, and also talking, kind of about the role that we as women can feel forced to play in it, especially when it's not something you naturally enjoy or want to do, I do also think there is something to be said for overthinking a thing. And let me just say really quickly that my intention in any video is not to try to make you be someone that you are not. So if this particular part doesn't resonate with you and you're completely fine with the way you've been doing things, then this just isn't for you. I'm not talking to you. I'm mostly talking to a type of woman that I have made mention of many times on my channel, because I can't even tell you how many DMs, IRL conversations, text messages, emails, comments in my comment section I have gotten from women who say that they really want to embrace the side of themselves that's more girly and put more effort into their looks, but they feel shamed for doing it. They feel like they shouldn't do it, which is so interesting to me because, like I said, I feel like we hear so many conversations about toxic beauty standards, and sure, they exist. I'm not saying they're not. But in my experience, what I hear more women talking about than anything is feeling like they want, again, to embrace that part of themselves, but feel like they shouldn't because of what it's going to say about them in a negative way. And or they feel like they're going to get unwanted attention when they do put more effort into their looks. And I want to address that really quickly because I think the problem is that if you're afraid of getting attention, which is why I said at the beginning, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting attention. I think you just have to pay attention to what that attention is doing for you, either in the positive or the negative. And the problem is if you think that putting yourself together and wearing clothes that you feel like you're best in and doing the makeup that you like the most and doing your hair is going to get you attention that you can't handle, I do understand that. But I also don't think you can live your whole life trying to avoid, like, everything in life has consequences, right? Both positive and negative. I think you'll just get used to the attention because it's like really comfortable to be invisible, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you're invisible and no one's noticing you, then like they can't say anything about you. But I think the point is to really get over what people think about you. I get insulted on the internet every day. Every single day, I get told stuff that I've never heard in my real life ever. No one's ever said anything like this to me before. But like on the internet, for example, people feel so big and bad with their little keyboard fingers, and I get to see what people think about me, let alone what they're, keeping to themselves anymore. Like, people have no problem telling the internet everything is wrong with you. But I just think it's a bad idea to avoid embracing your feminine mystique and your feminine wiles and taking advantage of it because you're worried about what a bunch of nameless, faceless weirdos who shouldn't be that worried about you in the first place are going to think about it, especially because you're already getting attention for the way that you look. I almost think no attention is a type of attention. You're being looked over. Like, your appearance and what you're doing is already getting you a type of result. So I just feel like you have to take it into your own hands and do something positive with it. And that's why I want to talk about pretty privilege for like 2 seconds, because I made a video about this not too long ago and I've talked about it a few times. I'm sorry if I'm beating a dead horse here, but I'm just here to say pretty privilege is real, and if you can take advantage of it, I just think that you should. I really do. I'm not saying you need to worry about looking like Emrata or Kim Kardashian in order to take advantage of it. You need to look around at the people you're actually competing for resources with and that you're actually dealing with every day and look at them. All you have to do is look around at all the people you see on a daily basis going to Target, at a restaurant, in the doctor's office, at your job, and you will notice that most people are doing almost nothing. You're not out here really competing with Emrata and Kim Kardashian. So this idea that you need to concern yourself really with these beauty standards, I think is silly. I think it's the overthinking of the thing. And I think that you can consume so much content talking about how this is a bad, terrible, awful thing and get so much into your head about it that you feel might be where you're feeling bad about it. Because I know I went through this where I was like so conflicted about it because I've just been this way my whole life. I've always loved hair. I've always loved makeup and I've always loved fashion. But then I went through this period that went on for, God, an embarrassingly long time where I just kind of felt like, I don't know, I was a bad person for wanting to participate in this because doesn't it oppress women? Isn't this bad for us? But it feels so good when I do it. Like it messes with your head. So I think you need to focus on how you feel in your body when you're taking those steps to look your best and actually move more in the direction of what does feel good for you. Because I think so many women are spending a lot of their time up here, and not to say that we shouldn't spend any time up here, obviously we should, but the one thing about women that is so fascinating is our ability to have our bodies communicate with us. Our bodies are always communicating with us. That is female intuition. That pit in the bottom of your stomach when some weird guy is eyeing you across the bar, that's your body telling you what's going on. And that flutter in your chest when you find an outfit that you absolutely feel like a 10 out of 10, that is your body communicating with you. And I just want to empower women to focus on the positive of any given situation, to include one that can benefit you. Like I said, if you don't want to participate in any of this stuff, that's totally fine. I get it. I support you. But I also think women who do want to participate in it and use, like, men have certain advantages in this life that we do not have. That's just true. But so do we. We have a couple that they can't really use as well as we can. So you might as well use it. Use what you have to get what you want where you are. That's all you can really do in this life. And I am just really trying to create more content that celebrates all the aspects of being a woman and being feminine and embracing your femininity and beauty and making things beautiful and beautifying the world is something I think women and people who embody feminine energy strongly, it's a strength. Like I was listening this amazing video I was watching the other day. I posted on my community tab and I'll put it down below. Please watch it. If you have any question about what it means and when I say to celebrate your femininity, what I'm talking about, this video is going to explain it better than I ever will be able to. But one of the things she talks about in the video is how people tend to look at things that are traditionally feminine and like looking good and being, you know, putting effort into your looks as something super frivolous. And it's like I think she used the words just making the world beautiful. Like that is some sort of bad thing because, you know, battles are fought and, businesses are built and all of the things that we do so we can enjoy life, enjoy this thing called life. And women and femininity makes it beautiful. It makes it worth doing all those things. So I am just trying to give you your daily dose of saying, looking good is not a sign of weakness. Don't be out here worried about the fact that certain people are not going to like it. You're just not going to be for everyone. But the people who appreciate it and who like that too and who resonate with it, those are the people you need to worry about anyway. And at the very least, girl, you got my support and everybody else's support around here. I have tons of videos that can show you how to look your best every day or as much as possible. I'm not saying do a full beat and like shapewear to go to the store unless that's what you're trying to do. That's cool too. I just think that the goal should be like to feel beautiful as much as you freaking want to. It's not a sign of weakness. If anything, it takes a lot of effort and strength. It's a skill set. 10 out of 10 would recommend every woman and anyone embracing their feminine energy get into. No other reason you should do it if it feels like something you want to do, because if you refer back to our first rule of this video, know what you want and do it unapologetically. If you're sitting around worried about what other people are going to think about what you're doing, even when it comes down to what you're doing with this vessel that is only yours, that is truly the only thing in the world that will always and only be yours, you're not living rule number 1. That's all I gotta say. So the last rule, one of the main things some of y'all need to do desperately is move in silence. Be quiet, shut your mouth, stop putting it all on Front Street. Stop doing it. Quit it. It's not cute, okay? That's the Reader's Digest version of what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna get into why I'm saying it. In 2022, and for the past however many years, mystery is truly a freaking superpower. And I think the point that I want this video, like if I had to say what I want you to walk away from this video feeling empowered by, is that I'm trying to give you guys some insight into things that are going to make you stand out to the right people in the right way. Because like I said, rule number 1, know what you want and don't apologize for it, which means the aura you're putting out, the things that you're saying, align with what you really want and you're not apologizing for it. Rule number 2, looking good is not a sign of weakness, means you're not afraid of putting that effort and energy into yourself. And if it bothers some people, again, refer to rule number 1. These things make you stand out, if for no other reason. So few people are doing it now because it's not trendy. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like social media, I'm realizing more and more pandering is such a popular thing on social media for a reason. It is so easy to get up here and tell people good news about their bad habits and encourage them to keep doing things that are making their life harder because people like to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that a lot of people are moving in the same way because they feel like they're getting permission from social media and praise from social media to do it. And one of those things, like I said, is talking too much. Like, y'all have got to learn to keep some things close to the chest. Desperately have to learn to keep things close to the chest. Now, I'm not saying stand still, look pretty. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying some of y'all are putting stuff on the internet that is making you look crazy, total Looney Tunes. And if this goes back to the first point I made, walk it like you talk it, I will see these people who post things that make them look banana sandwich, that make them look unhealthy, unhinged, unrealistic, unreasonable, unsavory, uncouth, just all the uns. And then somebody will comment and be like, girl, you out here looking crazy. And said person will lose their mind about how, no, they can do what they want, this, that, and the third. Again, y'all, actions have consequences. If what you're doing is not getting you any closer to what you want, all it's doing is getting you attention, which again, if that is what you are living for, cool, that's fine, I guess. But if what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're putting on the internet and what you're running and telling your friends, like, it doesn't even have to be on the internet anymore. It doesn't even have to be on the internet. It could just be what you're doing every day. If doing that is serving absolutely 0.000 purpose, except giving you the opportunity to vent, I highly recommend you get into therapy, get a journal, or phone. I don't even want to say phone a friend, because some stuff you just have to work out. You have got to figure this stuff out in and of yourself. And then, because going back to what I said before, some people will put bad shit, crazy stuff out on the internet. And the minute anyone comes at them and points out what they're coming across like, they feel victimized and like no one can tell them what to do and how dare you and shame on you for shaming me. Like, it's this weird circle jerk I feel like people are getting into a lot now, where they think that just because they say or do something, everybody around them has to like it. And they don't. You have to do what you want to do. I agree with that, but you have to examine if it's actually working for you. Talking more about like the vindictive stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I talked about this before. I have a friend who has an ex whose current woman is obsessed with my friend and talks about her on the internet all the time. And this woman just has no idea how jealous and desperate and thirsty and crazy it makes her look. But this woman cannot get attention in her life for anything positive. So negative stuff works just as good. It's the shitty thing about social media, man. Like those likes and those comment section, like sympathy downpours feel so productive and so rewarding in the moment. But in reality, anything that drives you to talk about on social media, which again, you're the one picking your phone up, choosing to type this thing out. Like clearly it is affecting you in some way. Why wouldn't you take those things that are affecting you, especially if it's negative, and go find a productive, happy way to work it out? Because the problem is, any of you guys, everyone who is an elder millennial, especially, please get in the comment sections and tell these young bloods what it looks like about 6, 7, 8 years later when Time Hop comes around and is reminding you of the douche canoe train wreck you used to be. It is not fun because you look at it, you know, hindsight's 2020 or whatever they say. You look at it, you know, all these years later and you're like, oh, thank God I'm not like that anymore. Oh, I was so lame. But the problem was when that stuff was actually being posted by you all those times, other people were actually looking at you the same way. They were literally like, oh, she's so lame. Oh, she's so cringe. And I'm not saying live and die by what other people think. But again, humans are social creatures. Like we use our connections with people and our relationships with people to move around the world. And that can be in a positive way or a negative way. You have to care a little bit how you're coming across, especially again, I'll say it again, if it's not getting you what you want. I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm going to keep using relationships with men as a good example, but I see girls do this with their jobs. Girls will get on the internet and be like, my boss is a bee, my coworkers are dumb, and then wonder why like nobody else wants to hire them because they don't want to be the next victim of your online vitriol. Like girls do this with relationships. Like some guy will be ghosting them or negging them or, you know, on and off again them for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. And then they're on the internet broadcasting it for everyone, the trials and tribulations of this dumpster fire relationship. Trust me, I used to do it. No amount of doing that, no amount of why does everyone leave me posts have ever brought a man back. No man that you want, I promise you. And on top of that, guys are looking at you and being like, that's an easy target right there because she will fall for anything. If she has fallen for this dude's crap for this long and it's all she's ever posting about, I might have to slide into some DMs to see if I can do a number on her too. Guys like an easy target. They do, and that's what you're making yourself look like. There is no upside to this. There just isn't. Mystery, being mysterious, being vague, silence, that is a strength nowadays. Like I said, especially because, and that's funny coming from me, right? Considering how much I talk. Very few people know what's really going on with me in my personal life. I would never broadcast that. Like it's mine, it's for me, and there's strategy to it too. This whole like buck the system, do what you want, YOLO attitude that everyone thinks is so cute, there ain't no strategy in that. This is just giving into your baser instincts and think you're doing something big when you're really just blowing your life. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts is what it is. I'm gonna need y'all, if you wanna be high maintenance, you have to be strategic. There is strategy here. There are ways to move through this world happy as a clam, getting what you want, not looking foolish, and enjoying your life. You can't be so reactive all the time. I'm just saying, these are just 3 rules I live by. What are your current favorite high maintenance rules? What are the things you wish you could tell your little low maintenance self? Please tell me down in the comment section down below. As always, thank you to the patrons. I owe you guys some fresh, hot, piping new content over there. It's all going to come out like bang, 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 bang because I've been working on it behind the scenes. I wanted to roll it all out at one particular time this month. Looking forward to it. I'm going to do some story times, and there's going to be some specific content related to our book club pick, which is You Are a Goddess by Sophie Bashford. It's a really interesting read. Whether you join the Patreon or not, you should read the book. And with all that being said, I hope this video was interesting. Thank you again to 7E for sponsoring the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.